Imagine growing up in a world where reality bends, where dreams aren't just nighttime fantasies, but portals to deeper truth, where your father, a brilliant and controversial figure, isn't just a scientist, but a cosmic warrior, fighting invisible forces that shape the very fabric of existence. This isn't the premise of a sci-fi movie, but the reality lived by Peter Reich, son of the enigmatic Wilhelm Reich, as he reveals in his moving and astonishing book, A Book of Dreams. Imagine also the pain, the crushing void left when this towering father is torn from you, not by natural death, but by misunderstanding and persecution. This episode isn't just about a book, it's about the complexity of family relationships, the legacy of a misunderstood genius, and the universal search for meaning in a world that often seems mad, especially when trying to fill the void left by such profound loss. But wait, what if death isn't the end of conversation? What if a son could still speak to his father through dreams? Prepare for an intimate journey through a son's eyes, where the line between dream and reality dissolves, and truth is stranger and more human than fiction. Colored by longing and the search for a father who left too soon. Think about your own childhood for a moment. What was normal to you that others might have found strange? Peter Reich offers us a unique and deeply personal perspective on life. Far from scientific treatises and public controversies, Peter invites us inside his childhood at Organon, which was his father's refuge in Maine. He shows us a Wilhelm Reich, a loving father, a storyteller, a man who saw the world with intensity and sensitivity. Now picture this, a young boy watching his father operate a massive machine against the sky, believing they're literally battling forces of evil. For Peter, the Cloudbuster wasn't just a machine, it was an extension of his father, a tool to fight the doorbusters, a malignant force that were literally sucking life out of the planet. But here's what's fascinating. Think about how a child sees the world. With unlimited imagination, where the extraordinary is normal. For Peter, his father's theories about orgone energy, the accumulators, and even the battle against spaceships spreading DOR were part of daily reality. And here's something that will blow your mind. The profound bond between Peter and Wilhelm Reich, and their shared experience with the Cloudbuster machine, actually inspired one of the most haunting songs in pop culture history. In 1985, Kate Bush read Peter's book and was so moved by this father-son relationship, by the image of a young boy watching his father operate this mysterious machine against the sky, that she created an entire song and music video about it. The song captures the exact essence we're exploring: a child's perspective of loss, the memory of a father taken away, and the longing that remains. It's a testament to how deeply Peter's story resonates, so much so that it transcended literature and migrating to another spectrum of art that touched millions of hearts worldwide. This makes us reflect: how often, in our own lives, are the truths presented to us simply a matter of perspective? What's madness to one can be the purest reality to another, especially when it comes to a son who idolizes his father, and who later must deal with the absence and memory of that father. But the real question is, when everyone tells you your hero is crazy, how do you hold on to love? Stop and imagine this pain for a moment. A Book of Dreams is in its essence, a meditation on legacy. What's it like carrying the name of a man so brilliant, yet so vilified? He deals with the pain of loss, the confusion of accusations against his father, and the complexity of loving someone the world considered an outcast. But this pain is amplified by absence. On every page, we feel a son's longing for a father lost too soon, not to natural death, but to a system that silenced him. He seeks in his dreams, in his memories, the presence of a father taken from him. This resonates deeply with the universal experience of dealing with our parents' expectations and shadows, and even more, with the pain of their departure. How many of us haven't felt trapped by our parents' choices or reputation, or inspired by their dreams and sacrifices? The truth is devastating and beautiful at the same time. Peter invites us to confront the idea that, even after death, our parents' influence continues to shape who we are and how we see the world, and how loss can push us to seek that connection in unexpected ways. It's a reminder that love, pain, and legacy are threads that weave together, creating the tapestry of our lives, and that absence can, paradoxically, make presence even stronger in memory and heart. But what happens when memory becomes your only sanctuary? Peter's story is a mirror for our own journey of self-discovery, where we need to separate what's ours from what we inherited, to finally find our own voice and path, even with hearts broken by longing. Now, here's where everything changes. A Book of Dreams isn't just a biography. It's an invitation to introspection. Peter Reich's story challenges us to look at our own inheritances, whether family, cultural, or emotional. Ask yourself this right now. What do we carry with us, consciously or unconsciously, that shapes our perception of reality? What dreams or nightmares from our ancestors still resonate in our lives? And here's the liberating truth. Peter's journey to understand and accept his father, and by extension, himself, is a powerful reminder that true freedom lies in confronting our truths, however strange or painful they may be. And in Peter's case, this journey is intrinsically linked to overcoming loss and maintaining the memory of a father taken from him. Imagine this impossible situation. Imagine growing up with a father who isn't just a scientist, but a visionary who challenges the world. Now imagine that same father is seen by many as a madman, persecuted, and eventually imprisoned. This is Peter Reich's reality. He didn't just inherit a surname, but a complex legacy, a mixture of genius and controversy. It's like being the son of a superhero who, to the rest of the world, is a villain. Put yourself in his shoes for a moment. How do you process that? How do you build your own identity when a giant's shadow looms over you? Close your eyes and imagine this. Peter invites us to see the world through the eyes of a child who lived at Organon, which was Reich's research center. For him, the Cloudbuster wasn't a controversial machine, but a giant toy that hunted clouds. Orgone energy wasn't a pseudoscientific theory, but a living force he could feel. But here's what makes this beautiful and terrifying. This childlike perspective is pure, magical, and at the same time, frighteningly real. It's innocence confronting complexity, wonder facing the inexplicable, but this wonder also came with fear. Fear of persecution, misunderstanding, loss. What happens when your magical world starts crumbling? The title, A Book of Dreams, isn't accidental, and here's why. For Peter, dreams aren't just nighttime fantasies. They're a form of communication, a bridge between conscious and unconscious, between past and present. He uses dreams to revisit memories, to understand his father, to process pain and loss. Think about this for a moment. It's as if the subconscious were a living archive, where all experiences, however fragmented, connect. And this will make you question everything about your own mind. How much do our own dreams reveal? How much are there reflections of our deeper realities? At its core, A Book of Dreams is a journey of self-discovery. And here's why this matters to you. Peter, like many of us, seeks to understand his place in the world, especially in light of such an overwhelming legacy. He tries to reconcile the brilliant father with a misunderstood father, science with spirituality, logic with intuition. And this is where you'll recognize yourself. It's a search for meaning that resonates with the universal human experience. The need to find our own truth, even when it's shaped by forces greater than ourselves. It's the struggle to be yourself when the world expects you to be someone else's continuation. Have you ever felt this pressure? This weight of expectations? Peter Reich's book is less about scientific theories and more about human experience. He speaks of feelings, intuitions, a language that goes beyond words. It's the language of the heart, of the soul, of connection. And here's the beautiful irony. Reich, the father, sought to understand the universe through science. Peter, the son, seeks to understand the universe through emotion and memory. This is your reminder that not everything can be explained by logic, and that there's a wealth of knowledge in our most intimate experiences. It's proof that truth can be felt, not just thought. A Book of Dreams is testimony to how the past, especially the familial past, echoes in our lives. And this will make you think about your own family. Peter can't escape his father's influence and doesn't want to. He embraces it, explores it, transforms it into his own narrative. Stop and think about this. How do the stories of our parents, grandparents, and ancestors shape who we are? How do their experiences, however distant they may seem, continue to influence our choices and perceptions? It's an invitation to look backward to understand the present and build the future. In the end, Peter Reich shows us the power of narrative. And here's why this matters for your own life. By writing A Book of Dreams, he doesn't just share his story, but reconstructs it, gives it new meaning. He transforms pain into art, confusion into clarity, legacy into inspiration. This is revolutionary. It's an act of empowerment, a reminder that we are the authors of our own lives and that we have the power to shape how we tell our stories. It's the ability to transform chaos into plot and life into a masterpiece. And that, my friends, is true magic. Imagine his pain, the child who hears his father called crazy, who sees his books burned, who witnesses the persecution that leads to prison, and, finally, death. This pain isn't just personal, it's public, carried with shame and misunderstanding. Peter, in his book, doesn't scream his pain, but whispers it, allowing us to feel the weight of grief that couldn't be fully shared or understood by many. It's the pain of a son who not only lost his hero, but also had to defend his memory against a skeptical world. But here's where something beautiful happens. In this pain, Peter seeks comfort in memories and, crucially, in dreams. For him, dreams aren't mere wanderings. They're encounters, conversations, reunions with his departed father. Imagine this possibility. It's as if, in the dream realm, the barriers of time and reality dissolve, allowing the father-son connection to persist. And this is something many of us who've lost loved ones can understand. The search for an echo of the paternal voice, for a touch, for a look, is how love transcends death, how memory becomes sanctuary. Have you ever felt the presence of someone you've lost in your dreams? A Book of Dreams is, ultimately, a love letter from son to father. And here's why this matters. beyond complex scientific theories, controversies, and persecution. What emerges is Peter's unconditional love for Wilhelm Reich. He doesn't try to justify all his father's actions or endorse all his theories. Instead, he invites us to see the man behind the myth, the father behind the scientist. It's love that persists, despite everything, that finds beauty in complexity and strength in vulnerability. This is the true essence of Reich's legacy. Not just his ideas, but the human impact he had on those who loved him. Writing a book of dreams was, for Peter, a healing process. And here's what this teaches us. By revisiting his memories, by giving voice to his pain and love, he managed to process grief and find new understanding of his father and himself. This is a journey many of us undertake in our own lives, transforming pain into growth, loss into wisdom. Peter's resilience, his ability to transform tragedy into art, is inspiration for all who seek meaning amid adversity. At the end of this journey, we realize that Peter Reich's story, though unique in its details, is universal in its essence. It's the story of a son seeking to understand his father, of an individual trying to find their place in the world, and of a soul yearning for connection and meaning. The invisible threads Peter describes in his dreams are actually the bonds that unite us to each other, to our history, and to the very fabric of existence. Whether through science, art, spirituality, or love, we all seek these connections, these threads that give meaning to our journey. After journeying through the poignant landscape of Peter Reich's A Book of Dreams, I invite you to reflect. What are the unseen threads that connect your own dreams to your reality? What stories of love, loss, and legacy do you carry within you, waiting to be understood and shared? How has the absence of someone shaped your presence? Share your reflections, your dreams, and your own unseen connections in the comments below. Your story is a vital part of this ongoing human tapestry. If this exploration of Peter Reich's intimate world has resonated with you, if it has stirred emotions or sparked new insights, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and activating the notification bell. This is the final episode in our series, Exploring the Reichian Era, and we hope it has offered you a unique and profound perspective on the complexities of genius, family, and the human spirit. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to continuing our journey of discovery with you in future transmissions. May your own dreams guide you, and may your story be told with courage and love.